Welcome to Healthy Care, where your health is our priority. You've probably been told for years that taking vitamins is one of the best things you can do for your health, especially as you get older. And it makes sense. Over 75% of adults over the age of 50 in the US take some form of dietary supplement daily. It's become a routine, like brushing your teeth or locking your front door. But what if I told you that some of the most commonly used vitamins could be quietly working against your body, specifically your legs? What if that little capsule you've been taking with confidence is actually interfering with your muscle strength, your balance, and even your ability to walk safely? According to a 2020 study published in JAMA Network Open, certain vitamins taken in high doses were linked to an increased risk of falls among older adults, something that already affects more than 1 in 4 people aged 65 and older every year. That's over 36 million falls annually in the US alone, many of which lead to hip fractures, hospital stays, or a permanent loss of independence. Here's the thing. While vitamins can absolutely be beneficial when used correctly, too much of certain nutrients, especially fat-soluble ones, can accumulate in your system over time. And without realizing it, you may be weakening your legs, disturbing nerve function, or even disrupting the delicate balance of calcium in your bones and muscles. In this video, we're going to explore 3 specific vitamins that could be secretly undermining your mobility and confidence. If you've been feeling more unsteady on your feet, dealing with leg fatigue, or just noticing that walking doesn't feel as natural as it used to, this could be the missing piece of the puzzle. Stay with me, because once you understand how these vitamins affect your body, and the easy steps you can take to correct it, you'll be able to make smarter, safer choices that protect your strength, your balance, and your freedom for years to come. 1. The bone and muscle drainer, vitamin A. Let's move on to another vitamin that many seniors trust to support their health, vitamin A. It's long been praised for its benefits to vision, skin, and immune function, and it's a staple in many multivitamins, fortified foods, and even old-school remedies like cod liver oil. Sounds healthy, right? But here's the truth. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning it doesn't leave your body easily. Instead, it builds up quietly and gradually until it begins to cause damage, often without warning. As we age, our liver slows down, our muscles recover more slowly, and our bones naturally become thinner. This means we have less room for error when it comes to supplements, and too much vitamin A can tip the balance in the wrong direction. One of the biggest concerns with excess vitamin A is its effect on your bones, especially in the hips and legs, the very bones that help us walk, balance, and stay independent. Studies have shown that high levels of vitamin A are linked to accelerated bone loss, and for older adults, even a small drop in bone density can have serious consequences. A simple misstep on a rug or a slip in the kitchen can turn into a fracture that changes your life. But the danger doesn't stop with your bones. Muscle strength can also be compromised. Many seniors report a growing heaviness or ache in their hips or thighs, especially after walking or standing for long periods. These symptoms are easy to brush off. We tell ourselves, well, I'm just getting older, or I probably overdid it yesterday. But what if it's not aging? What if it's the supplement you're taking every morning, thinking it's helping you? One of the tricky things about vitamin A is that it comes from many sources, and they can stack up quickly. Cod liver oil is naturally high in vitamin A, add to that a multivitamin, a fortified breakfast cereal, and perhaps some liver in your diet, and you could easily exceed the recommended amount without knowing it. Because vitamin A accumulates in your body, this can lead to chronic toxicity, especially if you've been taking it daily for months or years. Here are some warning signs to watch for: aches in your hips or upper legs that don't seem to go away, fatigue after walking even short distances, and a growing reluctance to take the stairs or go on walks, not from fear or laziness, but because your legs just don't feel the way they used to. These aren't just signs of aging. They could be your body's quiet way of saying something's off. So what's the solution? First, it's important to know that vitamin A is still essential, but it's all about the type and the amount. The safer form for most people, especially seniors, is beta-carotene, the plant-based version found in colorful vegetables like carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and kale. Unlike retinol, the active form of vitamin A found in supplements and animal products, beta-carotene doesn't build up to toxic levels. Your body converts it into vitamin A only when needed, offering a built-in safety mechanism. If you're currently taking a vitamin A supplement, especially if it's retinol-based or from cod liver oil, you may want to reevaluate. Are you also getting vitamin A from other supplements or fortified foods? It's easy to double or triple up without noticing, and that's where the risk lies. One small change could make a big difference in your energy, strength, and bone health. Also consider asking your doctor for a vitamin A blood test, especially if you've been supplementing for a long time. Most people only get routine labs, which often don't check for vitamin levels unless specifically requested. A nutrient panel can reveal if your vitamin A levels are creeping into the danger zone. The takeaway here is simple but important: more isn't always better, especially when it comes to fat-soluble vitamins like A. What once seemed like a smart health habit could now be undermining the very things you're trying to protect: your bones, your muscles, and your ability to move through life freely. Instead of relying on high-dose supplements, lean into whole foods. Let your nutrition come from your plate, not your pill bottle. It's not just safer, it's also how your body was designed to thrive. 2. The nerve damager, vitamin B6. Let's start with a vitamin that's often marketed as an energy booster and brain helper, vitamin B6. You'll find it in all kinds of products aimed at seniors: multivitamins, energy blends, memory support pills, and even mood-enhancing supplements. It's often seen as harmless because vitamin B6 is water-soluble. Usually, we're told that water-soluble vitamins are safe because the body gets rid of what it doesn't need. But here's the surprising part: vitamin B6 can still build up to toxic levels, especially if you're taking more than one supplement that contains it. When it does, it doesn't just cause mild side effects, it can do real, lasting damage to your nerves, particularly those in your legs and feet. One of the most dangerous outcomes of too much B6 is something called peripheral neuropathy. This condition affects the nerves that control sensation and movement in your limbs. It often starts subtly. Maybe you notice a tingling in your toes or a slight numbness that comes and goes. At first, you might ignore it or assume it's poor circulation, but over time that tingling can spread. You may begin to feel like your legs are asleep more often, or that your feet don't quite connect with the ground the way they used to. Some people describe it as a dead leg feeling, like your legs aren't fully yours anymore. Others notice they're tripping over nothing or that their gait is a little off when walking across the room. Stairs become more intimidating, and a fear of falling can start to take hold. This kind of nerve damage doesn't just affect your body, it chips away at your confidence, equals your sense of control, and your independence. It's heartbreaking, because many people experiencing these symptoms assume it's just part of getting older. Or worse, they fear they might be developing a condition like multiple sclerosis or diabetic neuropathy. But in reality, the culprit may be sitting in their bathroom cabinet, a B6 supplement they've been taking for years. So how much is too much? The upper limit for B6 is generally set at 100 mg per day. But many over-the-counter supplements exceed this, especially if you're taking multiple products. A daily multivitamin might have 20 to 40 milligrams, your energy booster adds another 50, and a memory support supplement adds 30 more. Before you know it, you're well over the safe threshold every single day. And here's the really tricky part: the damage caused by B6 toxicity doesn't always go away, even after you stop taking it. Some people experience long-term or even permanent nerve damage, resulting in constant numbness, poor coordination, or chronic leg weakness. That's a steep price to pay for something that was supposed to give you energy or clarity. So what can you do to stay safe? First, check all your supplements. Look at every label, not just your multivitamin, but also any product labeled for memory, energy, or mood. You might be shocked at how much B6 is hiding in your routine. Second, remember that the best source of B6 is real food. Your body is much better at handling nutrients from natural sources like bananas, avocados, potatoes, turkey, and chickpeas. These foods provide just the right amount, enough to support your nervous system without putting it at risk. If you're experiencing any kind of numbness, tingling, or strange sensations in your legs or feet, talk to your doctor and ask for a blood test to check your vitamin B6 levels. Most people never think to ask, and unfortunately, most routine blood work doesn't include this unless you request it. But catching a B6 overload early can make a huge difference in reversing symptoms and protecting your long-term mobility. Lastly, don't assume that more is better. It's easy to fall into that trap, especially when supplements are marketed with promises like energize your mind, support mental clarity, or boost your mood. But when it comes to B6, more can quietly rob you of your strength, your balance, and your sense of security in your own body. Let's not forget, our legs aren't just for walking. They're the foundation of our independence. They carry us through life, allow us to shop, cook, travel, visit loved ones, and live with dignity. The very last thing we want is for something we took to help us to be the thing that slowly takes that away. So take a moment to reevaluate. Look at what you're taking daily. Ask yourself if it's necessary, and have a conversation with your healthcare provider about your supplement routine. Knowledge is power, and the more we understand about what goes into our bodies, the better we can protect the strength, movement, and freedom that keep us going. 3. The silent muscle weakener, vitamin E. For decades, it's been marketed as a miracle nutrient. You've probably heard that it supports heart health, protects your skin, and even slows down aging. That's why it's so common to find vitamin E in multivitamins, standalone supplements, and all sorts of anti-aging formulas. Many seniors take it daily, often without thinking twice. It seems harmless, after all, it's just a vitamin, right? But here's the thing, not all vitamins are safe in high doses, and vitamin E is one of those that can quietly cause harm when taken in excess, especially for older adults. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means your body stores it in fat tissues and the liver. Unlike water-soluble vitamins such as vitamin C or B vitamins, which are flushed out through urine when your body doesn't need them, fat-soluble vitamins stick around. Over time, this can lead to toxic levels, especially if you're taking high-dose supplements every day without realizing it. Now here's where the concern really begins. When vitamin E builds up too much in your system, it can start interfering with important processes in your muscles and nerves. Specifically, it can disrupt neuromuscular function, meaning the connection between your nerves and muscles doesn't work as well as it should. For someone already losing muscle mass naturally with age, this can be a serious problem. Gradually, you may begin to notice your legs feeling weaker or your balance not being what it used to be. And it usually doesn't happen all at once. The signs are subtle and easy to ignore at first. Maybe you find it a little harder to stand up from your favorite chair, or maybe you feel a little more unsteady while walking through the grocery store. You might chalk it up to aging or a bit of fatigue. But what's really happening is that your muscles are weakening from within, and vitamin E could be playing a big role in that process. Another symptom to watch for is fatigue during everyday movement, especially in your legs and hips. Your muscles may feel tired more quickly than they used to. And because vitamin E can also thin the blood, people who are already on blood-thinning medications are at even higher risk. This increases the chance of bruising, internal bleeding, and potentially serious complications if you fall, even from something as simple as tripping over a rug or missing a step. What makes this situation even more concerning is that it's often misdiagnosed or overlooked. Most people assume these issues, like feeling wobbly, slow, or easily tired, are just part of getting older. But in reality, they might be related to something as small and simple as a daily supplement that's no longer appropriate for your age or health status. So what can you do instead? The good news is that vitamin E is still important, but you don't need it in such high doses, and you definitely don't need to get it from a pill. Nature already provides us with plenty of vitamin E-rich foods that your body can absorb more safely. Great options include sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, and avocados. These natural sources give your body just what it needs, without the risk of overload. Also, it's a smart move to talk with your doctor, especially if you've been taking high-dose vitamin E for years. Ask if it's still necessary. Bring in your supplements and review them together. You'd be surprised how many people are taking dosages far above what's recommended, just because the bottle said heart healthy or immune support. One more thing to keep in mind: if you're taking multiple supplements, be sure to add up all sources of vitamin E. It might be hiding in your multivitamin, in your skin formula, and in your daily brain booster. The cumulative total could be putting you well over safe levels without you realizing it. To sum it up, vitamin E isn't the enemy. But too much of it can quietly erode your muscle strength, especially in your legs. That can affect your balance, mobility, and independence, things we all want to protect as we get older. So instead of loading up on high-dose pills, consider making the switch to whole foods and discussing your supplement plan with your doctor. Your legs will thank you, and so will your future self. I'm not here as a medical professional or a scientist. I'm just someone who's walked through the years, felt the aches, witnessed the changes, and learned through experience. One of the most important things I've come to realize is this: aging isn't what holds us back, it's the silent assumptions we carry with us that quietly limit our strength and independence. I've seen too many good people, loved ones, friends, even myself at times, slowly lose the ability to move freely. And it wasn't because of some major illness. It was because of habits we thought were helping. We trusted the labels. We believed the marketing. We took the same supplements each day, thinking we were protecting ourselves. But little did we know, some of those pills were weakening us from the inside out, undermining our muscles, draining our energy, and stealing our stability step by step. That's why today, I urge you, pause. Be aware. Take a closer look. Your body speaks in small ways before it cries out. That heaviness in your legs, that slight imbalance, that fatigue you can't explain, it's not just age. It's your body asking you to pay attention. You've earned your independence. You've worked hard for it. Don't let outdated routines or misinformation take that from you. You still have time to make a difference. You still have the power to act. Start now. Ask questions. Rethink what you've always believed. Learn what your body truly needs, not what the label says, but what actually serves your strength and longevity. Because the truth is, strong legs aren't just about movement, they're about freedom. They're about showing up for the people you love, continuing to live with dignity, and embracing each new day with courage and confidence. And now, you're equipped. You know what to watch for. You know what to adjust. All that's left is action. Begin by taking just one step, whether it's reviewing your supplements, moving a little more, or speaking to someone you trust. Every small step leads to greater strength. Before we go, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which vitamin are you planning to double-check today? What's one insight from this video that you'll carry forward? Share it in the comments. I read them, and they mean more than you know. And if this video helped you, please subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future updates. Because aging doesn't mean slowing down. It means learning how to keep going, smarter, stronger, and more empowered than ever.